breaking news.
Free Marcelo! Free Marcelo! Free Marcelo! Free Marcelo!
And we want to begin tonight with new information on a student from Milford High who was detained by ICE yesterday. Tonight, his community rallied, chanting "Free Marcelo" in protest to support 18-year-old Marcelo Gomes. Good evening and thanks for joining us. Ken McLeod with you on this Sunday. The teen's plight is spreading fear in a community where there are a ton of migrant families. And tonight the governor is demanding answers, saying she is disturbed and outraged. We have live team coverage for you tonight, from the teenager's family to that major show of support to the governor's obvious displeasure. Let's begin with WBZ's Logan Hall, who first broke this story yesterday. Logan?
Yeah, Ken, that's right. Good evening. It was an emotional day for Marcelo's family. Now, they tell us that Marcelo was able to speak with his parents, and he described the harsh conditions that he's being kept in. There was a big protest here at Town Hall today with members of this community rallying behind Marcelo, some of those images that you just saw. Now, that whole rally provided a lot of hope for this family. Friends and family rallying in support of Marcelo Gomes, the 18-year-old Milford High School student who was detained by ICE on his way to volleyball practice on Saturday.
He was on his way to volleyball practice, and separating him from his family. He's been here for 13 years. This is all he knows. Milford in Massachusetts is all he knows. Marcelo's cousin Anna says he was supposed to play the drums at Sunday's graduation ceremony. While the community is rallying behind him, it's still an incredibly difficult moment for his family. It's kind of heartbreaking, and Marcelo is just such a kind person, and he's the last person that this should be happening to, I guess. And his siblings are so young, and they're like asking questions like whether they're gonna ever see him again. Anna tells us Marcelo was able to call his parents and that he's currently being held at an ICE detention center in Burlington. We spoke exclusively to one of the other students in the car while he was arrested. This student is also undocumented and asked that his identity be withheld. He described what he was feeling as agents interrogated him and detained Marcelo.
I think mainly sadness that the thought of everything that my parents left behind, everything that my parents sacrificed for, and the 10 years we've been here, all of that just gone down the drain. Everything I had personally worked for in my high school career, all of that just down the drain, and knowing and having to go back to a place where I was never really familiar with.
In a statement, Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey said, quote, "I'm demanding that ICE provide immediate information about why he was arrested, where he is, and how his due process is being protected." For Anna and her family, there was an emptiness to graduation today, with Marcelo's absence being felt. But seeing the community come together and support her cousin brings them hope.
It makes me really happy because I don't think the community would come together like this for any other person. It shows how special he is.
Again, Marcelo is an 18-year-old student here at Milford High. He's a member of the volleyball team and is described as a funny and lovable student, someone who is well known across this campus. We've reached out to ICE for comment on this case, and they still have not gotten back to us. Reporting live in Milford, Logan Hall, WBZ News.
All right, Logan, thanks for that. I know you'll stay on it. The community turned out in numbers following today's high school graduation ceremony in Milford, where Gomes was supposed to play in the band. Hundreds gathered to support him, and WBZ's Paul Burton picks up our team coverage from Town Hall there.
Just an incredible outpouring of love here from the Milford community as students, faculty, friends rally on behalf of 18-year-old Marcelo, who was detained yesterday and was supposed to be a day of celebration. Students say there's a sense of emptiness and loss.
Free Marcelo! Free Marcelo! Free Marcelo!
An emotional display of love for Milford High School student Marcelo Gomes. Hundreds line Main Street in Milford in support of the 18-year-old who was detained by ICE agents over the weekend. After Sunday's high school graduation, seniors marched down the street to join residents in a rally outside Town Hall.
Marcelo was a good kid. He was excited for his future. He did absolutely nothing wrong. He was innocently going to a practice and he was targeted.
Juliana Rentas breaks down at the rally and embraces Marcelo's younger sister. Rentas says so many students are living in fear of ICE.
There's no pattern, so no one knows who's next.
Our students deserve to feel safe, and they don't feel safe. And arresting some of them traumatizes all of them.
Hands off our kids!
Milford English teacher Sherry Peterson knows Marcelo and taught him in her English class.
I can't imagine how scared he is. He doesn't know how to navigate this system. I wouldn't know how to navigate this system.
The rally lasted a few hours, drivers honking in support as they passed by. Milford Police Chief Robert Tassino says his department was unaware of Marcelo's detention until after the fact.
We want an open dialogue with the federal government about who's getting detained, why they're getting detained. We don't want, people just coming into town and being detained, or arrested solely because, they're here, illegally.
Renta says she knows Marcelo is feeling the love.
I feel really grateful that so many people showed up for Marcelo. I feel so grateful. God is so good.
The rally was both peaceful and emotional, and students say they will never stop supporting their classmate. In Milford, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News.